Let's get started here with the presentation.
All right, here on the screen is a roadmap of what we'll be covering today. Our goal today is to provide you with legal tips and pointers that you can use when you're evaluating claims in Virginia. So let's get started with Virginia courts and practice.
Okay, the first thing when evaluating a claim I think you should keep in mind when you're thinking about Virginia is the potential different venues. And we're going to talk about state court and federal court in a bit. But first I wanted to show you some pictures and talk generally about Virginia. You can see in here we have Arlington and Fairfax, which are up in Northern Virginia. We have Roanoke, which is in the western part of the state, Richmond, which is our capital in the center, Norfolk and Virginia Beach, which is down where we're at. My firm has offices both in Norfolk and up in Fairfax in Northern Virginia, and then Charlottesville, where the University of Virginia is. In Virginia, you really think of I-95, which runs from Washington, D.C. through Richmond down to North Carolina as a divider. Venues to the north of Virginia and to the west of I-95 are generally speaking more defense or neutral oriented, and Richmond and going towards the southeast can be a little bit more plaintiff friendly. But of course, keep in mind, you must keep city to city and county to county issues. Where we're at here, Chesapeake is right next to Norfolk, and Chesapeake is considered more defense-oriented and Norfolk more plaintiff-friendly. In terms of population, just so you know where the largest areas are, Northern Virginia metro area has 3 million people. Hampton Roads, so down where Norfolk and Virginia Beach is 1.7 million. And then the greater Richmond area has about 1.3 million. A couple notes here so you know, so you've heard of them. And this is bad venues for the context of Virginia: Portsmouth, Norfolk, Hampton, Newport News, which are all down here in Hampton Roads around Norfolk. And then also Richmond, the state capital, are considered plaintiff-friendly venues. So in addition to venues, and we can't go over each venue and tell you which one is good and which one's bad, and it would also depend for the specific case. But that's a general overview of the state. But in addition to knowing the state, you want to know the practice and procedure. I know when I started playing board games with my kids, the first couple of times I could beat them really easy because I knew the rules and I knew the procedures. But as they get going and they learn it, and they learn what they need to know, not so easy for me anymore. But so we're going to cover the courts and the practices here in Virginia, specifically for what we think you should know when evaluating claims.